Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and pool fans, and welcome to America's oldest city, and also the site this week of the greatest 9-ball players on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 International Open. It's all being brought to you by Diamond, Simonis Cloth, Aramith, the Tournament Balls, and St. Johns County. If you can't tell, we having some fun in here, folks. We have seen some amazing pools so far. Over 32 tables, all kinds of tournaments, over 400 players, and this pro division, 128 players of the very best in the world. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the semifinal match. Only one can move on to the championship, and it's time to find out who. First up, he's a 2014 World Junior Champion, 2024 Reyes Cup MVP, two-time Predator Pro Billiards Champion, and he is the defending International 9-Ball Champion. Sponsored by Universal Cues, Zan Tips, CPBA Cloth, TE Capital, and the Q Shop from Singapore. Make some noise for Aloysius Yapp. And his opponent needs little introduction. Two-time world champion, four-time Mosconi Cup MVP, and an inductee into the Billiards Hall of Fame in 2023. Sponsored by Laguna Cues, Pro Star Table, Kamui Tips, Hague 5 Pool Room, and Onboard Sportswear. Make some noise for from the Hague, Holland, the Terminator, NIELS FEIJEN. It's a race to 10. We're lagging for the break. Sending it to Scott Frost and Mark Wilson.
Welcome back, pool fans. Scott Frost is here, and we cannot wait to see what happens in this match. I'm Mark Wilson. And Scott, tell us a little something about these guys.
Well, the fans, boy, they certainly love NIELS FEIJEN. NIELS speaks for himself. I think his break, Mark, has been a big reason he's where he is now after the break, as solid as he gets. And then we're looking at Yapp, who was a question mark for me at the Reyes Cup. I think he was a question mark for a lot of us with the opponents and people that he was playing with. They're such a high level. He turned out to be the MVP. This could be a big staple in his career, earning a ticket to the finals.
And he's the defending champion from last year here, too. Yapp is 28 years old. NIELS FEIJEN has won the leg. He's 47 years old. Kind of resurgent in this event.
Oh, you know what, Mark? I was just going to speak on this. He's one of the only ones I've seen drawing the cue ball above the side, obviously below it the first rail, and above it the second rail. Well, he was a little weak there. One rail straight into the drink.
Both players are great players, so it really comes down to the volume of unforced errors and the quality of starts they get.
Yeah, a little tricky to the 4, so he wants to get nice on the 3. And that's perfect.
About 2 years ago, Yapp won, he came in third in the U.S. Open 10-ball in Las Vegas. The following week, he was second in the U.S. Open 9-ball championship in New Jersey. And then the third week, he won the Predator event in Michigan. I mean, that's a heck of a run right there.
Sure is. I mean, his fundamentals are sound. I love watching this guy play when he's playing his best pool. Yeah, this needs to run. Is it going to get there? I don't know, Mark.
No, I think we're going to see the jump cue.
Yeah. Maybe some first game jitters from both guys. Almost looks swervable, but you don't want to take that chance like Mark said. This is literally not even a quarter of a ball. It's got to be a slight favorite to make this. You're really just trying to cinch this, right, Mark?
Oh, a stop shot would play nice because then you'd have the easy angle to transfer, so that makes this jump shot play a little bit easier.
Oh, yeah, well done. That's going to set him off.
Spiked it right in with a nice stop shot there. Perfect angle, right back in line. It's got some of these jump cues when I'm watching. The technology's come up. I don't play one. But these guys barely hit it and jump over full balls. I mean, can you talk about that a little bit?
It's just what they're making them with, right? I have a Q-Tech jump cue, and it's absolutely like cheating, right? They're making them better and better. The lighter they go, and the stronger the shaft, or the more hollow the shaft, the bigger and better it will jump. The elevation isn't needed either. You don't need to elevate as much as you used to, or you'll really lose that cue ball. Caught the 7 a little thick there, didn't he, Mark? But
yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, you know what you were saying about the jump. We saw a couple of shots where balls went off the table, and it looked like almost impossible, and it just
too much power, right?
Yeah, easily. They didn't even swing hard. Technology evolving in our sport.
Oh, he put some check on that. Really nice.
Man, what a nice shot that was. Perfect speed control. High quality run out here from the scratch on the break by Niels. Yapp takes a 1-0 lead.
And nicely done from Aloysius Yapp on the board first.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Yapp breaks the balls. Another look at the jump shot by Premier Billiards. Like Mark said, just cinch it, stop shot. That's what he did.
And kind of like what you said, he's better than 50-50 to make that. You know, it used to be if you were ever 50-50, that'd be a remarkable statistic. Capacity crowd here at the International Open. Beautiful setting here. The Renaissance Hotel, St. Augustine, Florida. We've never been here before. 32 tables, 32 9-foot tables, one room, and each 4 tables has its separate arena. So you can sit around whoever you like to watch.
Yeah, similar to a matchroom venue, in my opinion. They do the same thing where they'll have a referee that can attach to each 4 tables. So they're just constantly on the move, but they're close quarters. And like Mark said, the fans get to watch mini arenas all around the building.
Each night we get done, you know, and there's still a round to go, and I'm tired, but I don't leave. I just want to see what goes on.
I noticed that last night. You were sneaking around over in the corner watching some pool. Nothing wrong with it. We love it. Gonna get a good look at this break.
Nice contact there.
Yeah, real nice contact. A little more traditional with the cue ball action. He was more center to the table, meaning he's going to make more contact with the 1 that way. He's got a steep cut here on the 1, but the 2's laying up nice in the lower right, Mark. Does he put a little inside on this to hold it up? Or does it just carry with a straight ball?
I think he's going to not use the inside.
Yeah, he might not
just
need
make
anything.
sure he makes it.
If anything, maybe a touch of outside.
Oh, I think he did use a little inside because of the pace that he applied, that he wanted to check that up. He didn't want to float it in. He felt more comfortable letting the stroke out a little bit there.
Absolutely right. The 3 does play to the top left. I've got to look at it.
Now it's a long stretch. It's not an easy stretch. Going to grab his extension. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only real trouble here, he's got to avoid the 5.
He would love to get the angle to billiard off the 3 into the 6 and just kind of free up that 4, or a stop shot even on the 3 would be fine.
He's going to draw below the 5, I believe. Yeah.
Great speed.
Yeah, and you called it, Mark. He's going to run right into the 6 here. This opens everything up. He does have a full pocket.
Always when that 6 is in your perimeter and you know, or the periphery, you know it's going to, you're going to bump it. You got to get really single-minded about knocking that 3 down. Not try to be too cute. Naturally, you want to avoid the 6 getting up on the side pocket, on the rail near the side pocket. But You've got to make sure you get this, because he can still handle it even if it gets there, so don't get too spooked about trying to get it perfect.
Yeah, he's a little thinner than he liked, so I think he's going to go into the rail first. Okay, he was a little thinner than he liked, so now he's got a little work left to do. He should be good.
And that's what I'm saying. If the 6 gets here, just get position, play it out. Don't miss the 3 ball trying to get the 6 perfect.
Yeah, this is just a little thin. He'd like to get the cue ball out far enough on this 5 or short enough to where he can come back and forth. So it's a little awkward.
Mm-hmm. And that's a judgment call at the table, whether you come short or you have enough room to go longer. Looks like he's pretty thin, so he's really being careful here. But he got out there.
And might have to go up to the top left with the green 6. Nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I think that's really the only route, Mark.
Well, he wants to be very mindful that he has an angle. You don't want to be perfectly straight on the 6. Oh, he cinched it. Got the perfect angle.
And if you wanted to cinch this with a high ball, you could play short side of the 7 to lower right. Nothing wrong with it. Might be easier to make the 6 that way. But he's going to get down on it, come back across below the right-hand side pocket.
Only needs to get to the middle of the table or a little beyond.
Oh, it's perfect. Really well done. A little awkward angle, but he should be fine to pinch this back, right?
As good as he's playing, yeah, I don't foresee any problem with sliding it out. He'll play the 9 ball back where he's, oh no, he's able to hold it. Oh my, it's much straighter than I thought. Classy break and run out here, take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, last year's winner. In the driver's seat to possibly repeat.
He's such a good kid, too.
Yeah, I believe he's 28 from Singapore. I mean, when you say good kid, he is as nice as they come.
So our big straight pool tournament starts tomorrow.
I don't know if I ever told you this, and maybe I did, but when he was young, he understood J.L. Chang to be the very best. So he flew to Taiwan and played Chang straight up $100 sets, which it wasn't really a good match. In fact, he lost 20 consecutive sets, and he went home and became Aloysius Yapp after that. Kind of like you playing Don McCoy.
Or Efren. Yeah.
Or Efren.
Listen, I think that's the greatest thing in the world, right? Back then, I don't think you can get any experience any better, right? That's right. The best lesson on the planet right there.
Yep. He said he lost 20 straight sets.
There's nothing wrong with getting your head beat in. We all need it every now and then, especially when you're young and you want to improve. You've got to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win.
He's very dedicated. He's got a government sponsorship, too, which is unusual. The government in Singapore sponsors one player. It's Aloysius Yapp.
All right, watch the scratch. Just get above. Okay, he took some off there. He went back and forth instead of trying to come up across the side.
Unfortunately, the 2 and the cue ball are near each other, but there's not a straight-in shot.
Yeah, what do you use, Mark? Do you use the 8 here? A lot of these guys like to chip this ball and come around behind the 4.
Well, it almost looks like he can bank the 2. If
to the top left, right? You could bank it.
Well, past the 6 ball, I'm saying.
Right, to the top left corner and just kind of cinch under the 8 like a 2-way?
I see what you're saying. The left as we're facing it, not his. Okay, yes, yeah. And maybe he can slide the cue ball underneath the 8 if he needs to, or just stop it there. He's looking at it. He's thinking about it. It'd be a 2-way shot.
Yeah, I like the shot, right? A lot of good things can happen, even if you don't make the ball. I mean, there's big cover there behind the 9, the 8, and the 6.
But most guys in this event have just been playing straight away, one just a safety only, yeah.
Well, I think the reason being is that was a little steeper than we gave it credit for, probably. Meaning he would have lost the cue ball if he tried one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have done a little better here, too, because if Yapp can swerve and catch the top side of this, too, he can get distance and possibly cover.
Going with the jump cue, I believe.
So he's going to maybe be aggressive here somehow.
Like a bank?
Yeah, I don't know if it goes past the 5, but doesn't it look like he could swerve and catch the top side? A lot of good things happen if you can.
Interesting. When you jump this ball, the 2-ball doesn't get that much speed. It really takes the pace out of it if it's bouncing.
Let's see what he's got in mind.
A lot of elevation here. Easily gets over it.
Okay, he did go at the bank, Mark. The 5 was a contender.
Now he's left a possible cross-side bank from Niels. Won't be easy, and you certainly sacrifice defense. I think he's going to just cut the 2-ball over by the side pocket and down to the end rail and let the cue ball come back behind the 9 here.
Agreed. You can use the 5 as well.
Man, good job on the 9 and good job on the 2-ball.
Perfect.
Okay.
Don't go too far with that jump cue. Might be more value in kicking this ball.
You know, it doesn't look like you can kick the 2-ball with just a high ball hit, so you may have to warp that around to come in there with a little power.
Yeah, and that's what you're touching on, right? He's going to cue it low and bend the cue ball or arc it just a little. Yeah, good call, Mark. Did he fluke the 2? No, he didn't.
He'll be happy, though, that he left it such a difficult cross-side bank.
Yeah, there's huge value to this, though, and I feel like it's a pretty big side pocket there on the right side.
Yeah.
3's laid up nicely on the lower left corner. Yeah, this is all focus on the make here.
And drilled it just like it was automatic. Didn't overplay that, and easily and conservatively got the cue ball back out to the center.
Yeah, those are ones that can get away from you as well if you catch the object ball a little too thin, so he did real well there.
I've known Neil since he was about 18 or 19 years old. He destined for greatness. He was a good player then.
Yeah, this needs to settle. He's going to be fine. He's 47 now. Gives us old guys hope.
Yeah, but absolutely fit as could be, too.
Well, absolutely, and it's a major key. Just going to take the cut on the 6. Big shot here to get him on the board. Do you come down, Mark, to try and get closer to the 8? You just stay up top and take your medicine.
Yeah, you don't want to tangle with that 9-ball, so, and then, you know, you can get too low on this. I think he's going to stay center table here. Nope. Well, hit it real good. Real good.
Yeah, it's a sign of how he's feeling.
I say.
You got to be confident to play the ball like that. I think Filler, knowing Josh, long straight shooter, he's just going to go back and forth. Or Jason Shaw. Niels, he wants to be perfect.
Speaking of Filler, that's who Niels beat last night, his last match to get here.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think Niels is breaking the balls as good as any of them. It's really what it comes down to.
And as we suspected, this could be a great match. 2-1. High quality run out there. Niels fine.
On the board.
Dominic Dunn right there. Dominic Dunn doing a lot for Poole. Another look at the bank, Mark.
The Premier Billiards replay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, used the running English, allowed the 2 to work for itself. Sending the 2 upwards. That's what that running English will do. These guys typically use the outside ball to help the object ball into the pocket.
It will be Yapp's break. He has one break and run out to his credit. Yapp got here by virtue of beating Michael Yednick, Corey Dool, Pel Vandenbeek, Zelinsky, and Lee Van Corteza. Niels got here by beating Epperson, Tusher, Mario He, Jason Shaw, Josh Filler. That's a pretty rough road to hoe there. Yapp and Niels have played a few times. Yapp was the winner of the most recent matchup.
Yeah, he's definitely more center table with the cue ball.
He aims slightly downward, but then he gets flat on that last swing. When you look at, yeah, there he goes.
What's the 9 going to do? Can you see a piece of it, Mark? If you can, I think the defensive play is there for sure.
Not sure that he can. And this is the most, forget this view.
Yeah, Mark's talking about the overhead. We have an overhead view here that we constantly look at, and it constantly tricks us.
Yeah, exactly. So
he might have a full look at a bank if he'd like, but boy, he's got a big wall there with the 5, 3, and 8 if he wants to just chip the 2 towards the center of the table and send the cue ball up towards the top left corner.
super good speed. Great job.
Yeah, did the 9 wire up to the top right. Neil's going to go to the jump cue. This could be fun.
It's airborne over 2 balls, too, and they're pretty far apart.
The good news is, though, he does have distance to control the cue ball if he gets past the 3.
And if you solidly land on it, then a lot of times you don't bounce it off on the table, off the table, when you have to go over 2 balls. Unlike when you, did he keep the jump cue? Which cue does he have? I think it's the jump cue in his hand, right?
Yeah, I think he's got to use it, right? I don't know what else you can do. I don't think the 9 is really lined up to the top right. It might be going long, meaning into the right long rail, but let's take a look.
Yeah, high velocity, you never know. It could shorten up. It could go 2 cushions, too.
He jumped.
Wow.
I think he double jumped everything.
Yeah, he jumped over the 2 balls, then jumped over the 2 and the 9.
Well, he just highlighted the power of the jump cue. There you have a prime example.
Oh, this is ugly. You don't want to really play a bank here, so.
I think it goes, Mark.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it goes. It's all right. I mean, it's a little misleading, right? It doesn't look like it goes, but I can't assume him putting the cue on there.
No, you're right. You're 100%. You're right. I'm thinking that. Looking here, you see this view? It looks like it maybe doesn't, but then over in this other camera angle, it looks like it clearly goes, and there's no doubt that it goes if he's set up like this. I had the hardest time getting my head around saying Aloysius.
Aloysius, yes.
No, I always want to say Aloysius because I'd never heard of Aloysius, but anyway, I got it now.
Does he come to the center here, or does he try to get a little closer and creep past the 5 and come on down? Yeah, towards the center.
Good speed again. Good speed relates to how pure you hit the pocket, because if you cobble it into the pocket, your speed control quickly gets messed up.
Looks like he's going to wrap around 2 rails here. Yeah, it's going to overrun the mark just a touch. And if it gets on the rail, it could really be tricky.
Really tricky.
So I was going to highlight that, Mark. A lot of top players will play the 5 in the corner. That way you really can't get bad going to the 7.
Yeah.
This is really the only way it can go wrong. Not saying he's in real big trouble, but he's got to come with it now.
He's going to have to really power up.
Unless he just wants to roll it and take the steep cut on the 7.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's possible. And that's kind of look like that's what he's doing.
I think he's got to power up like you said, Mark. Well, he did power. Watch
what
the
a
8.
shot. What a shot. Incredible.
Wow.
Man. What a recovery shot. ALOYSIUS YAPP.
Yeah, your timing has to be perfect to get that much out of the cue ball. He really arced it into the first rail.
Preserve the nice angle. Now he can just go 1 rail. Play the 9 ball to his left as he stands at the table now in the corner pocket. Just drift the cue ball just short of the side pocket, let it release from the cushion, and then attack towards the 9 ball. Oh no, he went right across. Okay, he maybe was a little steeper than I thought. Tremendous job there.
Wow, big old shot, and we're witnessing some perfect play.
Yeah, the performance he just
3-1.
showed us all in Manila was very, very impressive. Felt like he'd been a little more quiet this year, so a lot of people had questions on how he was going to perform there, and it turns out he was the most valuable player for Team Asia in the Reyes Cup.
Yeah, I got to watch almost all of that, and that's unusual for me to be home enough to enjoy it. Yeah.
Nice.
I was really curious. The teams looked very evenly matched, and then to have the Philippines kind of run away with it, but that can happen.
Yeah, of course.
They play great.
In that format, yeah, if you get behind, the momentum for the positive team just continues to grow. Asia played rock solid.
See what NIELS can do here on the break. See if he can generate some offense. That would be much appreciated for his side.
Oh, he got,
ball.
yeah, and it was going into the middle, I believe. The 5 stopped it just in time, and not only stopped it just in time, it left him perfect on the 2 with a great layout, Mark.
Yeah. This is just what he was hoping for.
I feel like he's trying to get into that cue ball just a touch more to beat that right-hand side pocket on the break.
I didn't get to watch his match last night, but I was kind of keeping up with the score, and I know he was ahead at least 4-2 to begin with. And then Filler came back and took the lead, and then NIELS came back and won the match. And he had a pretty big audience following because they know he's kind of a resurgent NIELS fan.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like, the crowd's really behind him, which is cool.
He's earned that for sure.
Yeah, he's such a veteran.
And such a good guy. I mean, there's nobody that doesn't like NIELS.
Yeah, and he gives back a lot. His channel, his YouTube channel, and boy, he gives out a lot of tips and tricks, bits and pieces, especially to the mental side of the game. Yeah, so looking at the 7, I don't feel like you want to get too cute with the 6 unless he really feels comfortable. But you can take the 7 on from anywhere out in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And he drifted the cue ball a hint forward to preserve that nice angle, so it's an easier transfer here with
Yeah.
draw.
So he might be perfect to just come back towards that side pocket. Played it sharp, very smart. Over the 9, a little awkward. Should be okay. Anytime that hampers our bridge, it's in the mind.
Then you have to elevate, which increases accuracy issues. Just a hint.
That being said, he looks rock solid over this ball.
Yeah, I would never bet against him, that's for sure.
Notice what he did there, folks. Something bothered him, whether it was on his cue or whatever the case may be, but he didn't just get off the ball. He got all the way off the ball and reset, even though it was quick. Something good to take home. If you get a bad thought in your mind, get off the ball.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Classy breaking run out there by Niels.
Here's 5 of his. And after 5, 3-2. Once again, this match.
Our fan here in the booth just went out for no reason, but I will say this, it really quieted it down in here.
And our champion, which will be crowned after this match, we'll have our championship.
Yeah, it's not actually too bad here today anyway.
To the winner.
The winner of this match will play Moritz Neuhausen in the final here shortly.
Yeah, what a clinic he just put on.
It was a great match.
Yeah, it really was. Labutis really didn't have a lot of opportunities. Moritz, well, once again, I go back to the break, but Moritz seems to be like that type of player when he's comfortable. I don't think anybody can beat him.
Very steady.
Yeah, fundamentals are just flawless. He's a little bit quiet after his big win against, I can't remember who he played, but it was in Jason Shaw's pool room last year. It was a big event. Boy, I really thought he was going to take off, but he's young, and he's looking to take this event down because he looks really good.
To me, this is ostensibly a world championship because you couldn't have a tougher field, no matter where you go.
Well, I don't know how it couldn't be classified as a major. There is no doubt about it, Mark.
Yeah. That's one of the top 2 in America. There's the U.S. Open and the International Open. Those would be the most prestigious titles.
Without a doubt.
Yep, just off the center of the table. Really locks down accuracy-wise, aim-wise, too. Just rub the 9. I didn't see if anything went in. 3,
Yeah, he's
6,
got one
9,
down.
No. 3, 6,
Is he
9.
dry?
No, dry, yeah.
Boy, I thought he got a ball down on the side. Is the 9 on?
Looks like it's a little high, but
Could he throw it down?
And then the Accu-Rack's in the way too. So
yeah. Niels, I think, said just let it lie.
I can't tell. Yeah, I'm not going to.
It's close,
Mark.
Mark.
It has to be.
I think it throws quite a bit.
But they're not quite frozen. I can see there's just that gap where you can't tell how much throw you'll get. You'll get some, but it won't be as much as if they were frozen.
Yeah, and does the Accu-Rack have anything to say about it as well?
Yeah, right. Might increase the throw. We
or
don't
decrease,
know.
one of the two. Now, if the 9 doesn't play, I think the 1 actually plays in the low right. If not, it's thin, but it looks to me like it plays. We're going to find out.
Yeah, he seemed. He's worried about whether it'll throw or not.
You've got to hit it easy. You don't want to overhit this, or it won't have time to throw.
And you might hitting it easy. You might. Okay, it did throw. Okay.
Well, it was dead wired up with a little top throw. Catching it from the top side. Crowd loved that.
We are tied after 6, 3-3.
You get a Premier Billiards instant replay here on that shot. Yeah, it went into the high side of the pocket, so he had just enough to get there.
Yeah, it was laying quite well, though, right? Obviously, he didn't hit it too softly. The softer you hit it, the more time that ball has to turn over. So,
And the more clean the balls, like when you're cutting a ball where we get skids, it seems like more often when you're going soft speeds.
That's right.
Where they grab a little bit more.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and that relates to or equates to when you're throwing the ball. It's the same concept. The easier you hit it, the more time it has to grab, like Mark just said.
It's interesting, when Jerry taught me to throw shots years ago, he would sometimes, to show the extreme, he would take, his balls were always highly polished.
Sure.
Take chalk and put on the 2 contact points and then set up the same shot. You could throw it twice or maybe 3 times as far.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it was dramatic.
Okay, now he stayed below the side pockets. Great success. He's going to get a peek at the 1. I don't know if it's clean. Boy, he's got to stay aggressive here. He's got almost the full look at the ball. If he's just barely clipped, he's still a heavy favorite to make this.
Does he go top spin and just take the long cut on the 2, you might think, rather than try to muscle up, draw, and come back?
Yeah, I'm wondering, Mark, if he's got to swerve this a little bit, then he's got to clear the 6 because the
I see.
2's down here on the lower right. But and he's going to swerve. So he's got to clear this 6, or is he just baby jumping this?
I think baby jumping.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Caught it a tick full.
And it's a hard shot, but I know he's disappointed that didn't go down because he didn't overhit it to make the pocket bigger, but it just wouldn't quite take that one.
Yeah, and you see on the overhead, it looks easier than it does in person. I can tell you that. This is fairly steep and obviously an extremely long stretch.
When what happens here is it's hard to get your tip up near the cue ball, so it really hurts your timing on this stroke because it's so far away from you. You're not sure where the tip is relative. You don't want to foul, but you got to hit this paper thin.
Oh, and he did, Mark.
Boy, he almost overcut it.
Yeah, the value was there because of the 2, right? Value was there because of the 2. Hard to overcut that ball, and he almost did, like you said.
He shakes his head side to side, knowing this is thin enough it'll be hard to hold it for the side pocket on the 3. That's okay.
Does the 4 pass the 5, I believe, in the right corner? It's hard to tell, isn't it?
I think you're right, even though it doesn't look open right here. But
like what you just touched on, I think you might consider going to the corner here with the 3. Maybe the lower left corner. Tough to hold for the side unless you want to put inside on this.
I think he's going to go around the 3. Yeah, and just get on up there, hope for an angle, be close.
Really nice.
Look at Aloysius. Very good.
4 does not play to the top right.
Okay, well, he's got an angle to transfer. He can get across the table here and play that 4 ball in the other corner pocket then.
Yeah, this is just one you don't want to let up on, right?
No.
End up short.
You can scratch, you can go short. This will be a pretty shot. Oh, he's drawing. He's going to pinch it around, play the 4 in the far corner. Side pocket. Yeah. Get on up there. More work to do.
Yeah, you really got into that ball. I didn't think he could get that short of the 4 to the side.
And once again, when you're at the table, you feel it, but it's hard for us to see what he feels.
All the focus just going into this ball here.
Very smooth. This guy is a tough customer.
Yeah, he just doesn't waver, doesn't give anything away.
Super solid. Yeah, I kind of like that. He knows he's got elevation here. He wants to make sure, it's easy to miscue on this. Trying to jab it a little bit, get quick a little bit, get up, play this with a real clean stroke. The follow through, very important. It won't be a long follow through, but you got to finish your stroke. You can't poke it. No trouble.
Yeah, he went to the short side there, so it must have been steeper than I thought, Mark. His plays to the side, but like you said, could be trouble. It's extremely thin.
He might go to the corner with this. Well, it's hard to tell. I'm just purely guessing here off the overhead. It's fooled me just about every time.
He's evaluating. Boy, it's hard to stay passive here. I think you've got to be aggressive.
He's looking into the side.
Going to take distance on the 9 if he can get the green down. Caught it a little fat, Mark.
He moved a little bit, too. I don't know if we ever grab a replay of that. But
Yes,
it looked
he did.
like his head kind of lunged forward as he was unsettled and didn't like that shot. His body kind of gave him away.
Yeah. Could this be a big turning point in the match? It's really been Yapp in control, but Niels has not gone away. 3-3. An error on the 6. Yapp takes the lead. It's been a long 4 days.
His first lead after 7 rounds.
This could be a big turning
Leads
point
it
there.
4-3.
Really could. I didn't expect.
Hey, if we get a second chance to look at this, the Premier, watch his head. Yeah, it kind of lifts a little bit, just slightly. Can we get it again?
Yeah, he lunged just a hair, right? And I think his head moved at the same time. Body kind of like tried to help the 6 in.
Yeah, exactly. It was, and if that ever happens just microscopically prior to impact, that distorts the tip just enough that we get a rattle on a thin cut rather than.
Yeah, that's what allows miss hits on the cue ball. And it's just a fraction, any movement. The door was opened for Feijen. It's the first glaring error that we've seen. But it all resulted in the 5. I didn't feel like he was too steep there. Nothing wrong with the way he played the 6. He just overcooked it on the 5.
Well, I mean, he's played such great pool. I mean, it's hard to be critical. He did make one mistake.
I'm just calling it like it is.
No, I don't mean
right?
you. I'm just saying in general these last 2
3
days.
open balls, though. That's a big mistake. Feijen's going to take advantage, obviously. Well, this could be a good recovery.
Okay.
This is almost one of those racks, Mark, you feel like he has to take advantage of.
To kind of negate some of the momentum that's lost, yeah, I agree. It's a psychological thing more than the score thing.
Exactly. It's just kind of a pinch with an outside ball. You just check it 1-2 to the top rail. Fairly common shot for these guys. Might be a little thinner than I think.
Oh, nice job with the cue ball there, too. High velocity cut, but that cue ball checked up real nice. He judged that well. Picks up a little side spin when it impacts that object ball.
Do you consider playing the 5 in the same corner, or do you just go to the side no matter what?
I think he's going to play it in the side, but no, maybe he should go to the, side pocket. That's the answer.
Yeah, and you just have to lay good on it, right? If you get funny on that ball, it can get awkward.
Well, he's a little bit straight, so I don't think he can get it real close. He's just going to have to be a good shot maker on the 6.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good look at it. He does have a little bit of an angle, but as you
Not
say,
much.
I think he's going to have to take distance on the 6.
That side pocket has to play on your mind, and then when you power up to get better, yeah.
And that's kind of going back to the position on the 5 and the side, right? All along, it was going to be a little thin regardless of where you're at because the 5 was so low. So he initially looked at playing the 5 in the lower right corner. Went with the easier play, which was to the side, and caused the miss.
Yeah, because he could have obtained an angle off of that shot. I mean, even playing it the way he did, I'm just saying an inch or so would have been huge.
Absolutely.
So, and nobody's that fine that they can make it where it's for sure going to be perfect. But I do think your idea, maybe that time conservative position play wasn't in order, just because it made the rest of the balls play so much tougher if you do fall funny.
Exactly. The 6 being off the rail really helps him here.
He didn't try to overdo it. I really like that because that gave him great accuracy to the corner pocket. It's when you try to really get into that and just rely on his talent, as Jeremy always says, just rely on his talent. I agree.
No, fully agree as well.
He's going to miss this far less than him trying the mistake that will come from trying to get really good position from that ball. Pretty savvy, experienced position play judgment there. Hit a little heavy. Yap had me snookered on that, but I could see he raised the rail a little bit.
Definitely caught it thick, but got it down. The speed was right.
And this, when you get out from those two little fragments of mistakes, and then that really cranks the heat up there, now you've lost your break. 5-3s are score. Feijgen in front of Yap.
And speaking of break, losing your break, Yap might want to consider taking his break the next opportunity he can.
Over Kachi. And then last night, Yap over Georgiev. And a lot of you were here for that match. It was 7-0, and Georgiev came back to make it a match, but Yap in the end was victorious. And then last night as well, Feijgen over Gorst earlier today, and then Feijgen over Filler. And a big comeback to get here as well. So, Feijgen and Yap, and only one.
Got Tim Myers tuned in from Port St. Lucie. Kathy Kroom, upstate New York. Dennis Walker in Kansas City. John Scalisi, Madison, Wisconsin. All serious pool fans. Phil Wyndham, Chattanooga Billiard Club. I know he's tuned in.
Oh, hello, Phil.
I know.
Hello to everyone.
He's the most fun guy.
Yeah, he's great. They're all great. Well, it looked like all Yap the first quarter of this match. Man at the table has other ideas.
Oh, boy. Gonna get a shot? No. Jump shot.
That is pretty hard luck. The 8 coming around from the second rail right into the face of the cue ball. Does he take the jump on? He's really just got to stop the ball. He's got the jump cue out. I can't fault him for this decision. The 1 is so close to the pocket mark. The percentage is high to be accurate. But it is a full ball jump. Big moment here. Well, the 8 going to be a problem again.
Yeah, that's tough. Made a good shot there. Cut it just a little bit too much.
Yeah, he got more into it than I thought. Like you said, he cut it just a little too much. I don't know that he intended to draw that ball as much as he did either. Tricky here. Looking for a real Loctite defensive play.
really see it either. It's not readily apparent, is it? It's queuing up like he has something in mind. Oh, the 6th ball. Oh, I love it.
Oh, absolutely.
What a great play.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell what angle he lied on there, but that was as good as it gets. Do you come to the 3rd rail here?
Well, I don't think no, it'd be 2-railer or 1-railer. He's looking at both. You can scratch with the 1-railer. Oh, tagged it square. Oh, look at the 9-ball.
Oh,
What a
flipped it
shot.
behind, but
What a shot.
they say it pays to hit him, Mark.
Wait, when you hit it with velocity, that square, you deserve a break, you know, so.
It's the game.
Well, he can breathe again.
Yeah. Yeah, because if Niels gets that game, that really cranks up the pressure.
Wow.
Well, this is why ESPN said that we had to go to 9-ball from straight pool right here. They want fast action. They want great shot making, both players playing, and luck. So that's why I always get aggravated when they monkey with the rules to change it to be a more conservative game. That's what we used to play, was a very conservative game of straight pool, and they said it just will not sell, guys. People don't have the attention span for straight pool.
Yeah, such a great game, straight pool.
We're going to get to broadcast some of that this week. I can't wait. It's been a long time since I got to broadcast any of that. Coming up tomorrow, though, we have 10-foot table action here. 8 of the best.
Yapp has had 2 misses, both in the same side pocket. If you could erase those, he's played much a flawless match.
Mm-hmm.
Caught a big break there when he needed it.
Handball. Oh, Lord.
Look at
What
this.
a turn of events here. 9 on the break. Ties up the score.
The double bubble. 2 in a row. 2 for the dough.
5-5.
We're all tied up.
Wow. And get our premier Billiards instant replay on that break. The second time we've had a 9 on the break on this table. We had a couple others where the guy scratched, so I'm counting the ones that counted. So.
Well, that's what they play, Mark. They do play that cue ball into the 9, hoping for a little action.
And they also pay for it in terms of they scratch from that when
That's
they hit
right.
the 9 about as often as they make it. So it goes both ways. But at the most inopportune time, here he kicks, hits the ball out of the middle of the table, knocks the 9 ball from the middle of the table into the side pocket, winner, and then next stroke, 9 on the break.
Yeah, it can be a very cruel game.
It's a race to 5 from here. We're all knotted up.
Good look at my coach and one of the greatest in the world, Jerry Bryseth. Friend of yours for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Partner, coaching partner.
Well, he's my mentor. That's the father of modern pool instruction. And right alongside him, from Milwaukee, billiards superfan Michael Schroeder.
Another great guy. Oh, I like that break.
Niels, the consummate professional, nothing flusters him. He just gets up and gets to business. He knows those fluky things can happen to you.
A little shake of the head there. Last match I did with him playing here in this venue, the cue ball was finishing high like that. He was having great success. Boy, I think the pocket's bigger down here in the lower right, Mark, versus that side, if you're going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's forced to play this with the cover. He's got the 6 and 4s back up possibly. If there's a miss hit, you can come over all the way behind the 3 if you'd like. Taking his extension.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Wow.
Great effort. Well, he stayed super still on that. He didn't flinch.
Yeah, that's a great play.
Yeah, it is a big time shot.
Assuming now the 4 goes, so really came with a big one there. A little weaker than he wanted. He'll be all right. He can go back and forth. If he's got a full pocket with the 4, makes the shot about 100 times easier because he's a little concerned about avoiding the 6. If not, he had the right speed on it again.
Yeah. Just pure mental toughness here. Not flinching on any of these balls, not frustrated by the misfortunes. Always admired that about Niels. He's not afraid to work hard. And he's not a natural ability guy. He's a hard work guy. Settled into the rail. Got a little leeway here, not a lot.
Yeah, and liked another couple rotations out of that cue ball. Can go forward here.
Yeah, gonna have to play from the rail here and the side pocket.
Yeah, I think he was
This is-
trying to come to that second rail pretty solid and got a little outside ball there, maybe, Mark?
I felt like he was kind of cinching it, didn't want to introduce the side spin for the squirt factor and just take, and he didn't think it would settle on the rail or he would have did something. He thought it might be close. Just wanted to make sure he got this shot. Glides it home. Great job there. Pure toughness.
And he's going to take a break.
I don't blame him. Yeah, that's exhausting. He's gone straight through that. 6-5 is our score. What a big rack that was. Timeout's over. We're ready to commence. 6-5. Niels Feijgen in front over Aloysius Yapp. Aloysius will be breaking. Boy, Niels just gutted out a really tough rack there.
Yeah, the starter on the 2 was huge. Thin to the side.
Yapp levels out here on the break. Made the 9 on the break his last time. Something went in. Is he going to get a shot? Looks like the 4 ball. Well, I can't say for sure.
Yeah, it's tight.
Well, I can't say for sure. I used to say it for sure and then be wrong about half the time. So
It's very tight.
we'll know the way he sets up. Yeah, it must go. He's not one. If it was a combination, he would take more time than this. Well, maybe it is that tight.
I don't feel like it goes. Maybe he was just evaluating. He's going to use the extension, but it clearly is close.
Yeah.
You see his body language.
Yeah, gotcha. I think he was just measuring it to begin with. Seems satisfied that he can make it, though. This is where you can't back, you can't poke. You're going to have to finish your stroke. always tell my students, miss it with commitment. Don't miss it like you're afraid of it.
Yeah, I like that information. You're absolutely right there. Any let up could cause big problems.
Yes, back at the pool room, they used to say when you let up and glide into the rail like that, oh, you Wilsoned it. So that's how I learned that, Scott. I lost a fortune. Lost a fortune trying to poke it and guide it and twist.
Been there a few times. He's got options here. I think the 4 passes in the same pocket if he'd like. He can just check this one rail down. Play the 4 on the right as well. Nice. Yeah, you get the feeling this match here is going to go down to the wire.
It's going to be heartbreaking for one of these two to lose. You know, I mean, after all the emotional ups and downs and great play that we see.
Don't try to get too cute here, right? Just bring it back a couple feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to overcook this one at all.
He wanted to let it out.
Well, he didn't hit it very hard, so we know he's cueing the ball effectively. When you don't hit it very hard and it goes a long way, that's a sure sign of a guy that's in stroke.
Quick work here by Yapp to tie it up.
And that's the third game that Yapp has won from his break. 2 breaker run outs and 9 on the break.
Well, we're witnessing some amazing pools here,
6-6
folks.
is our
6-6.
score. Scott, do you play a carbon fiber shaft?
I do not. Just too old school for me, right?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But I was playing with my friend Tim's cue today, and it was the right length. See, they're always the wrong length for me. But Tim had the right length with his extension, and I kind of liked it.
Well, I see the benefit to the carbon shaft for many, many players. I'm definitely not against it. I tried to make the switch a couple times. The problem for me, Mark, was so much power in those cues. It was really easy to overdraw the cue ball or underdraw it if I was scared of it. They've just got so much more power. But I definitely, obviously, think they're designed for a particular player.
Well, I think I'm going to give it a go. Now that I see, because I was always kind of skeptical, and I'm also old school. People resist change, you know. But
Sure, I think your style suits that cue, though. I think it suits a carbon cue, and I think you might like it.
all right, Niels hasn't been blessed with that much fortune here. He's had to gut out everything.
Ooh, there's the
1.
Yeah, and a big kiss on the 6 again.
Ball, not much of a shot, I don't think.
Well, this is definitely thinner than the 2 to the side last time for him. But boy, that cue ball was tracking to the side again and got a big kiss by the 6, which is great for Niels. He's still at the table. This is just too thin to the side.
You think you can just shoot it past the side and then safety it? Is that the play? That it seems routine. If you get that 2 ball down on the rail, then the jump cue, you're not going to be able to tangle up. Yeah,
Down under the 3 would even be better. But that'll work, right?
Right. But by pushing it down, now the jump cue is no good. I mean, you can hit it, but they can't hurt you with it. If you leave it hanging up there, then the jump cue can spike it in.
Yeah, not only that, is the side pocket a problem for the 2-rail kick. He's going to have to manufacture the line, maybe put a little low right on it if he does catch the rail above the top right side, unless he thinks he can swerve behind this, but then you can't get the distance.
Right. There's a ton of clutter there that's going to prevent the 2 ball from escaping easily.
Is he looking at catching the 2 going in, or is he coming to the left side of the table? Boy, that's a big pocket to scratch in this way. Yeah, the 2 might be high enough.
Maybe you can go soft speed then. Yeah, Not overhit it. What a
look
hit.
at this
What a
hit.
hit. Like a one-pocket shot or something.
What
right?
a great play.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was by design. Absolutely beautiful. And here's that look again, Mark. I don't know if the 2 passes the 4, but almost a two-way play again. You could play the 2 up to the top left corner and just stun down below the 7, or at least get some type of look on the 3. Yeah, he's probably going to play the conservative route. That's what's got him here.
Yep. I think he's forced to kick at this.
A lot of good things can happen here, catching the bottom half of the 2. Of course, the 2 is going to track towards the 6 or the 8. Doesn't want to hit the 4 with the 2 here. Oh, yeah. Watch the cue ball. He's lost it. For a minute, Mark, I thought he hit it well, just how he wanted.
Well, he did. He did. That was no way to predict that that's going to scratch. You know it's on a possibility, but it's kind of like that 2-cushion scratch we saw earlier. Up there.
Yeah,
Oh, no, that was
absolutely.
last match. Okay, yeah, my bad. Talking about a shot last match that it was a long, thin safety, and it went zing, zing, and scratched behind clutter. He got it right where he wanted to be, but it found the pocket.
Well, and that ball there scratched between the 7 and 3, so it's not expected. He hit where he wanted to. Neither here nor there. Niels dialed in. You notice how he freezes after contact. I try to teach that at home. There's nothing wrong with freezing, giving it a second or 2 seconds after contact. It just teaches you to keep the body still.
Yeah, not only is there nothing wrong, there's everything right about it. And you're not inclined to give up and move or flinch like we saw
Absolutely.
earlier tonight.
I think he's going to go to the middle here. I don't know if he was rushed
Yeah.
against the clock there. It just seemed like he got down and fired pretty quick. You don't typically see him do that. Is he going to drift this in?
I thought he was going to the corner, but you're probably right. Usually wrong on these. Yeah, he went right to. Oh, yes. Wow.
Yeah, use speed. It's been
Felt
deadly.
super good.
Yeah, deadly accurate to those side pockets so far, unlike his opponent.
Pretty good speed there.
Yeah, perfect, really. He can draw straight back if he'd like. I think that's probably the play. You don't want to introduce any trouble with the 8. Speaking of the 8, I don't believe this is tracking for it. It might be perfect. One rail, float right behind it.
Bumped it. Eesh. Looks on the overhead like it's a pretty thin cut, but on the table it looks like he can handle it.
Yeah, he catches that ball a little thicker, and he's in big trouble there. 9's got him covered to the lower left, but he's going to get this down.
Oh, gorgeous. Very classy. And Niels is rewarded for that good safety play where he forced Yapp into making a kick to a half a ball that ended up scratching in a peculiar way. 7-6.
You want to shoot some pool tonight? I know they also have a ladies and
Just doesn't get any better than this.
Legends too, but they'll have some mini tournaments going on as well. And it's open pay to play on the outside tables there. It's $5 for every half hour.
This will be Yapp's break. Yeah, Niels is questioning.
Feel free to shoot some all night long here at the International Open.
This is so much fun. Watch high quality pool played, the intensity level, focus and concentration.
Yeah, without a doubt. Delivering blow after blow to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been really classy stuff here. Yep, caught a couple good breaks in there, but otherwise has played well. Missed 2 balls, I can think of. Niels really hadn't hardly made a mistake.
No, he's been pretty much flawless.
I remember we were playing in the Moscone Cup, and my team wasn't doing good, and it was quiet, and we were up against it, and the fans are against us, and he'd have about 4 stop shots, and there'd be one guy in the crowd, he'd go, Niels, give him a break. And it would hurt so bad. Come on, it'd be a stop shot. It was painful. Kind of funny now, but in retrospect. Let him have a chance. Oh, cue ball got completely away. He made 3 balls and cue ball stayed up. So
Yeah, I don't know if it got kissed or if that was a direct
no,
line.
I think
that
it was a direct line. We might get a replay on that break, but it was boy, that cue ball went darting to the corner pocket.
Yeah,
One rail.
That would mean
Here we go.
another look.
Premier Billiards. Oh, it did get kissed, but still it was pretty low. So.
Yeah, it was low.
Yeah.
He caught the one a bit thinner. The result was great. Just doesn't have a look at the 3. Got a lot of action on the object balls.
He's considering jumping the 3 here.
Just
Jumping
because of where the
3.
position is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where do you push? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a win or lose shot then, you would think, or at least you're betting the game. And if you might get a backdoor safety, but you can't expect to get one.
I can't fault him if you feel good over it, right, Mark?
Yeah.
If you feel good over it, I don't know where the push lies.
The other part is if you play safe, are you ever going to get even this good of a chance
Exactly.
against a guy like that? So Danny DiLiberto always says, don't go down playing a phony safety. He missed it. Now it's a matter of whether maybe not bad. Maybe combo, but not an easy one.
Yeah, he's disappointed. You know, I can't fault him for taking it on, though, as you said.
Tough shot here, though.
Yeah, and a little awkward, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to catch this 3 a little heavier than you think. Yeah, quite a bit heavier, actually.
Yeah, this would be a world-class shot for sure because you can easily mess this up if you're just a millimeter off. Yeah, kind of Wilsoned it.
Yeah, had a big pause there. I know he's got a pause, and a great one at that. He had a big pause in that backswing.
I know. Sometimes the shot's so trying, you're afraid to make a foreswing.
Do you flirt with the 9 here or stay below it? Yeah, nice.
You know, that's always where, ACCUSTATS probably give you a missed shot on that one, but I'm kind of lenient. That's a hard shot. I have a hard time docking my man on that one.
Yeah, very difficult.
And you're sort of forced to play it there.
Yeah, right. I don't think there was much else he could do. His back was against the wall. It's just an awkward combination. But I think we like it because it's going to tie this match up if Yapp can get out down to the wire.
Yeah, we might as well go 9-9 here.
Yeah, he just wants to be conscious of the speed he puts on the 4 here. Oh, I like what he did. He cut it to the low side.
This plays nicely for a left-hander. Right-hander might have to get out the bridge.
Nowadays, a lot of these guys just switch hands, too. They're so talented. I think this is going to be perfect.
It amazes me how many guys use the bridge with their opposite hand. Just instinctively, you know.
I'm one of those guys. I never felt comfortable using it with the correct hand.
Huh. Roberto Gomez is one. A couple others, too. Play right-handed, then use the bridge left-handed. You play left-handed, you use the bridge with the right hand.
That's right.
Okay.
But I don't use the bridge much at all. It's a horrific sight.
All right, yep, ties it up. You know, there's a lot of guys that are spooked by the bridge, you know.
Especially the taller guys, right? I don't use it as much, Mark, because I do switch hands.
We don't get exposed. You know, taller guys don't use it as much as the depth. But anyway, I was playing a match, and it was a real close match, and the guy, he got forced into using the bridge, and I was sitting off the side, but he didn't say this for my benefit. He picked up the bridge, and he went to the shot chanting, "The bridge is my friend. The bridge is my friend. The bridge is my friend."
Oh, my goodness.
You know, like trying to psych yourself up to use that.
Oh, wow.
I'll never forget. I still laugh about that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. He knew it was going to be rough.
And there you see the score tracker. There are the performance averages.
Yeah, high standard, 889, 932.
55 pocketed by Yapp, 48 by Feijen. Interesting. 4 errors by Yapp, 6 by Feijen, but I feel it's the other way around almost.
And Yapp's got 2 games, one on the break
Flukes.
and one, where he didn't pocket that many balls. So he's been doing some good work and he's also got some good fortune here. He's certainly got the best of the luck in this match.
No doubt. They say it all equals out.
Just not in one match.
There's that kiss again from the 6. The cue ball was going to the side again. He keeps getting that kiss, which saves the day. Well, it didn't save the day there.
You know, like the side break, where you're turning that cue ball loose all the time, okay? I sometimes wonder if I was Shane Van Boning's coach, and he played a match here where he broke dry 5 times. Now, Shane Van Boning broke dry, cut breaking. I would say you're not cut breaking at all because he can hit them so good and center up that cue ball.
We talked about that.
And the ball sift back.
Yeah, you're talking about him hitting it flush head on, right? Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
I mean, the balls rush to the back corner pockets even, but he hits them so good and so hard. And then the cut break kind of neuters his absolute strength. I'd rather see him lose breaking where he gets all those balls moving rather than the cut break. But, I mean, the other guys, they probably should cut break. I just wouldn't let Shane do it if it was up to me.
Well, and Shane doesn't like the cut break. He's not a huge fan of it because he can't relinquish all of his power.
All right. That is one of his absolute fortes, and it kind of takes it away. I was wondering if he even thought about doing it because he was so locked into doing it that maybe just discounted any. But I can't believe he wouldn't have broke better breaking from the center.
Well, you're right. As flush as a guy like him hits the 1 or his square with so little effort, so much action. A lot of good things can happen that way. Because there is a big risk to this cut break.
Yeah.
With the cue ball. Back here, 7 apiece. Yapp 5 away. Regaining the lead. Six must play past the 7. I think he can just stop there. I actually think he fell perfect, Mark. It looks thin, but he can just stop. He doesn't have to do anything else.
Yeah, he's completely comfortable over this one. He didn't flinch with that.
devastating kiss off the green 6 for Feijen.
Yapp regains the lead now.
And Yapp has regained the lead.
Oh, what a match. What a match here.
And he'll have the break.
And you see the TPA, right? 873 for NIELS, 940 for Yapp. I just don't know where that's coming in at. Obviously, ACCUSTATS does. They're the best in the business at it. But to me, it feels like NIELS has played a really good match.
Yeah, I agree.
He's missed the combination, right?
Okay.
That was awkward.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't really remember anything.
You know, this is a point of admiration for Yapp. After he won, well, he finished third at the U.S. 10 ball, second at the U.S. Open, first Michigan Predator event, okay? All top-tier players, 3 weeks in a row. Most young guys, they would fill up the trophy with champagne and stay drunk for a week and shoot it off at craps.
Sure.
Okay? You know what he did? He drove all day the following day and then worked on his stroke for 2 solid days at Durban's outpost. And I'm talking about from noon to midnight worked. I mean,
it's funny you say that, Mark, because it's something that sticks out to me with him as well, with Yapp, is he just continues to work. His entire life and well-being is surrounded by improving his pool game.
Man, total admiration for that guy. He's going to be a force for a long time. He's 28 years old.
Oh, he got a good kiss on the 4, and it
the
sets him
two's
up.
Right down there.
Great
Wow.
for the 2.
This just doesn't happen, you know.
Yeah, and if we got another look at that break, the cue ball was actually tracking, I think, to the 3rd rail. It never even got to the 2nd rail. The 2 just caught it dead in the face. The 7, really, the only question here, if he can get good on the 3, I think he's got to come back here, Mark. Can he go forward?
Boy, I don't think so. Well, we're going to find out, but I think, you know, even if he just goes ahead just a little bit, just rolls the 3 in, let the cue ball come across, he can dig down and draw it back up out of there. If he can draw it right at the 9, no, he's able to get around there. Boy, what a shot. What a shot that was.
Yeah, really just carry your angle here on the 4 to continue the angle on the 6, because you want to get somewhere on the short side of the 7, I believe. You don't want to deal with any type of 7-8 combination. No, and he's aware. Staying steep on the 4, which is perfect. I think you're better off with too much angle on the 6 versus not enough here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be careful, and that's why he's pointing over there. He's going to go to he's going to take a little longer 6 ball than he might have otherwise to preserve the ankle for sure.
Yeah, just don't overhit this, but then again, don't underhit it. See, when you see his body language, he wants that to settle.
I think he's good.
He might have to power it a little bit more, but I think you're right. Looks like he's probably perfect to come short side to the left long rail, the lower left long rail. A little low right ball.
We can grab the overhead real quick. Just like to go here to play this 7 ball back into the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he did have to punch it a little bit, didn't he? He had to get into that a little more than I thought.
Yeah, does that create a problem here? He's on the rail. They're always missable when you're on the rail. Not supposed to miss it. Just needs to stay still here. No, and he did. Straight in again. He can manufacture something here, but got to call it what it is.
Yeah, it's like, seriously? You had to land perfectly straight in.
Yeah, and you see.
No, nice. Straight in the side. Don't even think about the 2 balls you missed in the side. A break and run here. We'll put him on the hill. The 4th game he's won from the break. Now that's big.
Yeah, this is really all a result of the game prior when Niels broke and got the kiss off the 6 and catches the scratch in the top right. Really, everything's kind of gone Yapp's way this match.
Not kind of. I mean, big time.
It has. Yeah. You just got to call it what it is.
Oh, and Niels is toughed it out. It's going to be heartbreaking if Niels loses this match like this.
It's heartbreaking for anybody to lose a match like this. Julian, been with ACCUSTATS, 108 years? Such a great guy.
Yeah, he's our floor production guy, do-it-all guy.
He's the best.
He's a great guy.
Yes, he is. He's just such a kind man, does an excellent job with what he does here, just like everyone else here with ACCUSTATS. Pat Fleming doing the most. That being said, we're only 8 days away from the Cup. Excited for that in Orlando. Boy, to 750, just the number doesn't.
Well, that's the break stat.
Okay.
Yeah, that means he's.
Well, I didn't even know there was a break stat.
Oh.
So that's something new. Oh, the 1.
Did he get any? I don't think so.
Just rattles out.
Took a little power off of that one too. Just kind of slow down on this cue ball hopping around, I guess.
Yeah, a little apprehensive.
Yeah, you do finally get sick of misfortune.
Yapp quickly down on the 1. Just evaluating. I didn't think he'd pull the trigger that fast.
Well, it looks like it goes.
It must be tight. Body language says it's tight. Looks like he's got to go forward, so this must be real tight. You know, try and run into the 2.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, work left to do.
Cue ball's heading the wrong direction if he plays it in the corner.
Yeah, does he draw out of this? Or I don't know. Like you said, Mark, cue ball's really headed away from the wrong direction of the 3 down here.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get close to the 3, I don't think.
No, can he even get back where he is now?
Right.
He'd be thrilled, I think. Pretty tricky. I just can't tell how steep it is. He'd like to draw to the top rail and back out if he could. Maybe he's just going to try and pinch and hold. Okay, he could draw to the top rail. Watch the 5.
Cut into it too much? Or not? Can't tell. Can't tell. He's getting his jump cue. Yes, so that means he's got a decision to make here.
Yeah, and I'm looking live at the table. He is formidably snookered. The problem with the jump cue is the cue ball. The 4 down here near the 3.
Yeah, you're jumping it thin. You got to clear the edge of the 5. That's 2 diamonds away. So you can get quite a bit of bounce.
I think he was playing this.
I think, well, oh, I see. Playing, okay, yeah.
Just 2 railing it out, holding the cue ball.
That was probably the play. We were thinking, or at least I was thinking he was playing offense, but now that I see it, he had to be playing defense there.
Yeah, just due to the fact that he's going to lose the cue ball.
Right. And when he hits that 3 heavy, then he can slow that down. He's earned, okay, great play.
And Niels, a little sign of frustration there. So did he get him completely covered on the 9? I think he has.
Wow.
Not going Niels' way this match. He's going to the second rail here. Let it open up. Don't hit it too hard. Well, it really opened up.
It was a great attempt.
Yeah, he's
Nothing
just
more
trying
he
to
could do.
cross the face of that ball, send it back over, and bring the cue ball back behind the 9 or towards it. Not much you can do, like Mark said.
You make a solid impact, and it's you're a long ways. You got to let the angle open up. Sometimes you're at the mercy of the pool gods.
That's exactly right. Oof. Something looked like it kind of broke down there. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he
it
kind of
was.
moved his head forward. You can see he was a little flinchy.
Did it accidentally turn out just perfect where he can come all the way around? If the side pocket's not in play, I think he's okay.
Right.
He can level out, right?
Yeah.
Makes the shot much easier.
And if he goes deep to the corner, if it's laying like that, then he can just go 2 rails and play the 5 in the same pocket the 4 is. Like Scott said, if he can get to the 3rd rail, then maybe he can play the 5 back in the side pocket. Okay. Oh, wow. Rolling along.
Yeah, did that little rub affect him, though? Due to where the 6 is, or can he?
No, I think it didn't hurt him at all. I think he can go with high, inside, just trickle it out to the center of the table is all he's got to get. Well, I'm basing that off the overhead, so
Sure.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just saying he might have more distance now on the 6 versus if he doesn't catch that now, he can get nice and tight on the 6. Oh, he's done as much as you could there, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Do you flirt with the 9 here, or do you just take your medicine on the 7? Do you come back and forth? I think he's just going to hold. Take the cut on the 7.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. See the body movement speeding up. Heart rate's definitely going.
Well, he's out of extensions is the deal. So shot clock could be an issue.
Yeah, it's about to be an issue. Once you're down on the ball, the clock can expire. As long as you don't get up, you're good. Big pressure here.
Pure.
Wow. I'll tell you what, he's closed this match out.
Oh, yeah. Yapp's played great, but pool is cruel. Not fair to Niels at all. His performance certainly deserved a better result.
But this young man's closed it out well.
Yeah, and you have to earn the opportunities, He puts himself here. You can't get lucky if you lose out early. So he'll be in the finals. Yeah. Just feel for Niels, I really do.
Yeah, we all do, right? I mean, the crowd absolutely loves him. We love him. He gave it everything he got. The balls just didn't go his way this match, and that's where it's heartbreaking, right?
Right. But it is heartening to see him playing top speed again. So. All right, everybody, this has been an ACCUSTATS video production. Any rebroadcast or republication is expressly prohibited. We want to thank everyone for joining us. That is our time for this time. So long for just a while.
We're going to give away the tournament balls